As we begin to think about New Year's resolutions, one of the most important to consider for 2018 is getting your financial house in order. Here with 4 basic tips to boost your financial know-how and create a more positive outlook for the future is Emma Garcia. She's with Desert Schools Federal Credit Union. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to count down the top 4. Number
Yes.
1, make a realistic budget and hold yourself accountable.
Yes. So the National Foundation of Credit Counseling Agencies tells us that only 40% of Americans have a budget. So that's a great starting point, right? I think most of us kind of eyeball what we're doing, and so if we're really looking to set and accomplish goals around your financial life, it's a great starting point. And it's as easy as just gathering all of your expenses for the last 6 months, gathering your statements, gathering all of your reoccurring expenses, putting them in order from order of, you know, the most important necessary expenses to the least.
Oh, okay.
And so then
yeah, so then you're keeping an eye on
That's
it and
right.
then checking it off and making sure that you're sticking
and
to
those
it.
least necessary expenses are ones that maybe you can cut back a little bit on, and that gives you a little bit of that padding that you would need to continue working on some of the other financial goals.
And of course, big purchases cannot be made without good credit, and not a lot of people check their credit score or even know that it changes periodically. So tip 2, you said pull your report.
That's right, and that should be something you're doing throughout the course of the year. You know, take advantage of the free credit report out there, and mistakes happen, right? Sometimes it could be just an accident on behalf of the credit bureau. It could be, you know, an ID theft situation. So it's important to stay on top of that. And at the same time, it gives you the opportunity to look at, you know, what are some things that I could be changing in terms of, you know, potentially paying down some debt with that great savings that you found once you go through your saving, your budget.
That's right. You're holding yourself accountable, then you're paying yourself back.
That's
right.
right.
Tip number 3, you said make a dent in your debt.
That's right. So the average American we hear is close to $20,000 in credit card debt. So that's a great starting point. I think in part folks are you know, feeling very good about the economy, feeling great in general, and it's an opportunity for you know, for you to kind of go back and look at it and set some goals around that. And it could be overwhelming to think, well, I'm going to have to pay off this huge amount, but do it in small chunks. You know, do maybe a 10% or a 20% reduction in your credit card debt, and set some goals around the length of the year so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And it could be that small amount that you've identified in your budget that you use to then pay down that debt.
Perfect. And this is probably my favorite tip, and a lot of people, for some, it's not easy to do this, but you say add 1 month's pay to your savings.
That's right. It's a great rule of thumb. Again, average person has less than $1,000. So if, you know, you're the real you know, great saver and you're doing beyond that amount, starting to set some goals around maybe 1 month of savings of your expenses, or then shooting for 6 months, maybe even for the year. Ideally, we should be at a year worth of your expenses in an emergency savings fund.
Right.
But it's, you know, a huge amount, right? And so if you're maybe having a little bit more challenges in that area, starting with 1 month is a great starting point.
Perfect.
And that way, when something happens unexpected, you have a little bit of a cushion there that could help you to make sure you can weather that storm. It sure does.
Absolutely.
It's a stress changer.
And you guys have so many tools available to help. All right, let's give you some information. If you need a tool or you just need to get started to create your budget, if you want some information on opening a savings account with Desert Schools, call 602-433-7000 or visit desertschools.org. And then your Friday financial fitness tip, help pay down your debt this year. Try the 50-20-30 rule of splitting your spending into 3 different categories. So 50% is going to be on fixed costs like rent, bills. 20% is going to be on financial goals like paying down your credit cards, saving for a house. And then you're going to put another 30% towards your flexible spending, which covers miscellaneous extras like food, entertainment, shopping, hobbies, and gas. For more financial help, please call or visit a Desert Schools branch near you, 602-433-7000, or jump online, desertschools.org.